Back for another show, and I'm just going to get right to it. I have a special guest. We have a special guest. His name is Ken White. Ken is from Chicago. He is now in Arizona. We got a lot of people out here in Arizona now, kind of byproducts of other states. So without further ado, Mr. Ken White. How you doing, Ken?
I'm well. Thanks for having me.
Brother Big Ken.
What's up?
And I kind of met you and Doug kind of in tandem. You guys were, friends before we met. Mm-hmm. And one question I wanted to ask, I love to get people's origin story. Almost like a superhero, like we know how Batman formed. Mm-hmm. I don't know the Ken White origin story. So can you tell the people, man, who the hell are you?
So, Ken White. I come from a long no.
Here we go.
Hey, Ken, born and raised in Chicago. I was fortunate enough when I was in grammar school, my cousin was 4 years older than me. So when I graduated grammar school, she was graduating high school. So she was the most popular person in high school. Went to Kenwood High School is probably one of the high schools that will be considered the foundation of house music. So
wow.
Alan, Andre, Hatchett, Fobs, who taught me how to spin, all of them went to Kenwood. So all of these cats that are super DJs now, I knew them when I was a shorty.
Okay.
So I was always around that. When Wayne and Andre, before they were the chosen few, I think they were just the few or the chosen or something.
Yeah.
But they used to throw parties at the loft.
Okay.
So we would go and pick my cousin British up, and I would always volunteer. I'll go get her. And I'm in the party, okay. Shorty, 12, 11 years old. But
you're about 12, 11?
Yeah,
okay.
12 or 11. But I knew everybody, so I was like, hey, I need to go get Brit.
Okay.
I called her Brit. So I'm able to get in, and I'm seeing all of this as it's being formed, like from the beginning. Before it was even house. Back then it was like punk out.
Okay.
Or something.
Okay.
So it wasn't even the phrase house wasn't even invented then. So that's how I kind of got on the scene and knew that this is what I wanted to do. I love this music.
How did you get from, being around these foundational cats in the early times, no house music yet, but you're around. How did you get to the point where it was, okay, I'm watching this stuff, I'm looking at the DJs to, okay, I'm going to DJ as well. How did you get there?
So it kind of really started listening to the Hot Mix 5. Listening to Farley, Kenny Jason, all of these cats. And that's when, because Friday and Saturday, that's all we did was sit, and you didn't have tape decks. You had a little portable tape recorder, and you sat it in front of the speaker, and it was distorted and everything, but you would record it and listen to that. So after a while, again, my cousin knew Alan, all of those cats. So I told her, hey, ask Keith to teach me how to DJ. Keith Fobs.
Let me stop you here, right here.
Okay.
We say names and we know who they are, but because we might have youngsters, we might have fat cats not familiar. Can you use the full name when you say a name? Like Alan who?
So Alan King was, my cousin knew all of these guys. Alan King, Wayne Williams, Farley Keith. Knew them like they were friends.
Yeah.
Okay. So at the time, Keith Fobs and Andre Hatchett were doing all of the parties for the high schools. Okay. And like sours, the clubs, that the teenagers were going to. So I talked to my cousin, said, hey, can you hook it up? Asked him if he would teach me. And he was like, yeah, no doubt.
But you got to tell them, because I know the story.
Mm-hmm. Which one?
You got to tell them how he taught you for the first month.
Oh, I was going to get to that.
Let me hear this.
So we'll fast forward to day one at Keith Fobs' house on a Clubman mixer and some Technique 1200s, right? So I'm going in there. I'm ready to play Go Bang, everything. He was like, Billie Jean.
Okay. Wow.
You're going to have to learn how to beat match.
Yep.
For, I promise you, about a month. Every day. And I went over there every day after school, 7 days on the weekends, every day. And it was just boop, 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 boop. So, and didn't know he was teaching me how to beat match.
Right.
So, and the funny thing, it was cool. So once I thought I had that mastered, He was somewhere in the house doing something. I'm like, forget that. I go in the crates and I'm just starting to. And I'm playing stuff, and in my ear, it sounded phenomenal. And he comes in and he's listening, and he'll adjust the pitch or something, and I realized, this is way off. So I guess at that point, he was like, okay, you ready to try to start blending records. Okay. But it was still playing on doubles. Okay. So it was still, okay, you master Billie Jean, now you're going to master
Dan Hartman.
D-Train. Keep on.
Okay, yeah.
You're going to master that. Okay. So it was doubles of that. Then it would be a doubles of another record. Then it transitioned into, okay, let's try to blend it.
Okay.
Gym shoes in the dryer still, because I thought I was cold. Yeah. I'm cold on 2 records. I had that down to the T, because they're just both on the, on the green that you. So, so eventually he transitioned me into, blending and holding the pitch and, all of that. And now the rest is history, man.
Tell me this. It's kind of obvious to me, but where are you at musically, right? Because I know that I was listening to music before I started DJing. Then I started DJing, and I started playing quote unquote DJ music, like, because my dad had.
No, that's an interesting way to put that, because you do start to listen to music a little bit differently once you say, okay, I DJ.
Right.
That's that's an interesting way. So go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt.
So, but I mean, before.
How do you know what you're gonna play? How do you know what Ken is gonna drop on turntables? How do you know who you want to be? You know what I'm saying?
So that's a whole different thing from what you just asked me about where I am musically. So before house music and disco and all that, all I listen to is the R&B songs that my mother used to play when we were cleaning up the house, and Zepp, The Door, classic rock. That's all I listen to. Wow. That's all I listen to. I started listening to. People don't know that Zepp is my favorite band.
Wow.
My favorite.
When you say band. Of course, for the youngsters, when he says Zepp, Led Zeppelin, yes.
Yeah, I forget it. Yeah. So, so. Until I started getting into, disco and punk rock, because it really wasn't even disco. I was listening to Gary Newman. The first album I bought was the 12-inch of Gary Newman, Cars.
That was Talking Heads fan too?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Talking Heads, The Fix.
Oh, yeah.
The Cure.
Wow.
All of those cats, man.
Man, let me tell you something. Just here's an aside, and I promise I'm not going to take this interview over.
Yes,
I learned music.
You will.
By copycatting. I love to say that because it's so honest. You know how you think you know music, and you meet somebody just know everything, right? I know 10 times more than you. So I was thinking I had to wait till I knew all the music to start DJing. And I realized it was endless, because music is endless.
It is.
So I was like, I got to start DJing. I'm just going to catch up to the music later, because you can't catch up to music. You're discovering new stuff today.
Right.
So I started DJing and working on my DJ skills, because I was frustrated with how much I didn't know. And so I started to copy cats who knew way more than me, right? And they got that record, I'm going to get that record too. So-and-so, he a legend, he played that record, I'm going to get those records. In Chicago, they play the disco. Okay, what they play? Okay, I need what? And I was literally, I didn't even let me see if I like it. I was buying shit.
Right. Because that's what everybody else was playing.
They was playing. So Talking Heads, all that kind of stuff.
You going to cop that new Peter Brown?
I'm not no damn Peter Brown. Right. They said it was. They said that was
TK Disco.
Get funky with who?
TK Disco.
Yeah. Right.
So, but you got this benefit. I don't even know if you Chicago cats know it, but I always think y'all are so fucking spoiled, because you got all this culture and music around you, and all these cats around you that are playing some of the dopest music, right? It's not like it's a secret, and I'm a cat who had to drive to Chicago or get a mixtape from Chicago, imported, to hear what Chicago is doing, but you living in it. You telling me you at the damn high school before this shit is invented, you calling it punk music, and I thought they called it progressive in Detroit or something like that. But do you realize how blessed you are to be from Chicago, man?
So a lot of times I kind of kick myself in the butt, because I wish when Chippy and all these cats was getting into producing this music and putting it out, and wasn't even putting it out to get paid, but just putting it out so Ronnie would play it at the party,
Right.
or Farley would play it at the party. I wish I would have went that route more so than trying to be super DJ.
Yeah.
You know, and even today, I would love to just learn how to produce. If I knew how to produce, I wouldn't even spin. I think I would just produce.
Really?
Yes. I
So
would love to be able to just...
You'd be the Marshall Jefferson of Arizona.
Yeah, exactly.
So Ken, back to your story. So I think we got that foundation. We know what you're being influenced by. You're learning on Billie Jean's, and the guy who taught me how to spin, he pulled out the Thriller album and he pulled out the Donna Summer album, and so I was running.
Which Donna Summer album?
It was with Our Love and Toot Toot Beat Beat.
Well, okay, Bad Girls.
Bad Girls. So Bad Girls. He pulled that out, and I just couldn't get it right. And he was
Casablanca Records, by the way.
Casablanca Records. And I'm learning on that stuff, and not realizing like I'm learning at an advantage because that's not synced perfectly music. It's a live drummer.
Right.
So I learned on shit that was live instrumentation. Billie Jean is live instrumentation. That's a drummer going boom, jack, boom. That's not a damn drum machine.
No,
it's off.
But that dude's like a metronome.
He is. But so I'm learning on disco and not realizing that that's actually putting me a little bit ahead because we got.
That's what I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you.
Pitch.
Learning on disco, what was the most important tool that you? Thank you.
Period.
And if you notice, a lot of cats that have been playing for years, they won't touch the platter. You know how you touch the platter to slow it down? Their hand is on that pitch. Sometimes I'll hit that pitch and I'm going to move it too far and it's going to boop. So using that platter, I kind of like it better.
I love the platter.
Yeah.
So let's sidebar. I'm going to address this. My man Tony's off camera. So we had a DJ here. His name was D Win. I told his story. He's a very popular techno DJ in Detroit, techno house DJ, just a foundational guy in Detroit. And he said that he had learned you never touch the platter, right? He said not a real DJ. He said, but DJs are only supposed to touch the pitch.
DJ.
Only supposed to touch the pitch. Seasoned.
That's a good way to put it.
But I disagreed with him, and I didn't say it in the
do
interview.
too.
I disagree as well.
He said you only touch the pitch. What I want, and D-Way ain't gonna see this episode. What I wanted to say is, you ain't fucking with no disco, cause boy, you gonna touch that platter. You fucking with some real classics. You gonna slow it down. You gonna touch something.
Cause it's certain things you can't. The pitch is gonna throw it all the way off.
Yes.
If you're just a tad bit off with that pitch.
So you got to manual a little bit of that stuff, and you don't have to do it too hard where it's messing the sound.
Or your hands on the knob at the top to slow it down.
The spindle.
The spindle. Yep.
But anyway, back to you, Ken. I'm getting how your development is happening. I'm getting what you learned on. I'm learning that we have similarities in how we both learn, right?
Okay.
And so that's beautiful to me. So get me up to, do you actually get out there and DJ? Are you doing some parties? Are you guest spinning with cats?
So, I mean, I've been fortunate enough to, my brother-in-law, he had a spot, and I was throwing parties there, day parties.
Okay.
But honestly, man, I mean, like we were talking off camera, I prefer to just be at home, man. I would prefer to do stream shows, live shows, Twitch shows, because I'm at home. Okay. It's nothing like playing in front of a crowd, but how can I say this? Here, it's hard to get that crowd.
Yes. I'm glad we went.
It's hard to get that crowd.
Okay,
so before you get to that, so like you said, I've known Ken a little bit longer, and I gotta let me give my man his flowers. One of the ways I got on in the house scene out here in Arizona was because of Ken and another cat that we played with called DeAnthony. We did a show called Saturday Afternoon Cartoons, but that came later. What happened was I wanted to get out of becoming a bedroom DJ. I did not learn on vinyl. I did not learn on vinyl. I learned electronically. I learned on MP3s and all this kind of stuff because I wanted to do something different. But I put a mix on the website for the House Fest that we have here around April, usually April. And Ken heard it. And I used to go to events like we talked off camera. I will show up at anybody's event I will show up if Tone's playing somewhere. I'll show up. Yeah. It's very likely I'll show up. I pay to get in and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And Ken was like, "Hey man, I heard your mix. I'd like for you to open for us, him and DeAnthony."
Okay.
And I was like, "Okay, cool, that's great." As we got to know each other, one of the things that he told me was he played at a place called the Red Dog in Chicago, which is, what is it, Damon and Milwaukee? Mm-hmm. But Damon and Milwaukee is like 5 points in New York. It's like 3 or 4 different streets that come together. So like it's kind of hard to find. The funny thing is, I used to go to the Red Dog. So I would by trade, I'm a dentist, but coming home from school, from college, and then even later on in dental school, I would go to the Red Dog often, not knowing that probably at the time that I was going,
right,
this cat was spinning. Yeah. This cat was spinning tunes at the Red Dog in Chicago.
And this was like 89, 90,
right.
91.
That's what I'm saying. This is like
89
early
to 92.
Right. This is early 90s, early to mid 90s that I'm going back home. And there was other spots that other cats, I'm sure that now if someone said that I was spinning at Enter's, you ever remember Enter's?
Yeah.
Or the Prop House.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
When I was in dental school and in college, because I graduated.
Spots.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I probably listened to some of these dudes and had no idea who they were, because it was never about announcing, "Hey, I'm Big Kid."
So that's what I want to say. So at that time, you didn't see the DJ. The DJ was
Absolutely
in a whole different room, or
Absolutely
he was
not.
up above.
Absolutely
you
not.
did not see the DJ.
Nope.
You mean wasn't nobody with a cell phone? Just
no, sir.
No. So a funny story. So I was talking about my brother-in-law that has a spot. So he used to have a spot called the White House. And the way this place was set up, I was like, I want to do a party there. And I want the DJ to be in this room back here. It was a big room like this. And we could be kicking it back here, but the party doesn't see what's going on in the DJ booth.
Right.
You know, now it's all about being in the DJ booth, taking pictures, saying what's up to the DJ, you know, taking a picture in front of the DJ booth with
Right.
you know.
You gotta have your hand on one of the on the pitch control or something like that.
Yeah, to show that you're a part of it.
Yeah.
But excuse me. Back then, man, it wasn't about the DJ. It was about the music.
Yes.
It was about rocking the crowd.
Yeah.
Think about the Warehouse on Randolph and Halsted.
Oh my God.
You never saw the DJ. The DJ was up over the party all the way in the back. So the DJ booth was like up over everything, and you could look over and see the party, but the setup was back away.
So I will tell you, that's probably when you were going, because Ken's a little bit older than I am. But when I by the time I got to the Warehouse in
the one on
Randolph and Halsted.
Okay. Because you know they moved it to 23rd and
I never went there.
Cermak or something.
I never went to that one.
Okay.
The DJ was actually downstairs, but the thing is, and even at venues after that, I can't remember the place. It was on Wabash. I can't remember the place, but it was dark, so you could not actually see who the DJ was, and they were not announcing who the DJ was because it was not about the DJ. It was, do you like the tunes that he's playing or she's playing? Because at this point, female DJs are starting to go into clubs and stuff like that, and they killing it too. But I had no idea who the DJ was. All I knew was I liked the music.
Now, mind you, the DJ was still being promoted because during those times, the flyer would be on the street poles. They would make the flyers on the street poles.
True. Yeah.
And it would be, and even back then, because Mike Dunn, DJ Emmanuel, they were the Warehouse. They were the Warehouse DJs.
Okay.
Yeah.
DJ Cowboy, who passed away, they were the Warehouse DJs. Okay. I never got a chance to go to Frankie's Warehouse or go to. I went to the Box once, but I was like, I ain't never going back there because it was too much for me at 13, 14 or whatever. Too much.
Ken, I want to bring you up to Arizona. What year is it that you actually moved to Arizona?
I moved here in 2013, July of 2013.
Tell me what you're seeing in 2013 and how you are going to integrate yourself into, I guess, DJ or dance culture here.
Okay.
What are you seeing?
So when I moved here in 2013, my boy B House, Brandon B House, R.I.P. He just passed away last year. He was here. Me and him were friends in Chicago, and he had been out here for a while. So when he found out I was moving out here, he was so excited. And actually, B House is the one that introduced me to DeAnthony. He introduced me to Pete, and he introduced me to Sean.
Pete Salas.
Pete Salas,
Okay.
DJ from Barsmith.
Yeah.
Barsmith.
Yeah. The owner, one of the owners, him and Sean Badger.
So he introduced me to those cats, and I remember we were at the Monarch Theater. It was some kind of party there, and Brandon was like, "Hey Pete, this is my guy from Chicago. You need to put him on at Barsmith." So me and Pete were having a conversation, and Pete was saying, "Well, you know, I don't really know you. It's going to have to be beneficial to the club to fly you out here from Chicago." And I'm like, "No, bro, I'm here. I live here now."
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so he was like, "Oh, okay, so we'll talk." So the very first time I went to Barsmith, I wasn't, you know, I'm from the Chi, so I'm what are y'all playing? You know, what is this? This is something that I don't know about. This ain't house music y'all playing. So I had to kind of, you know, tone myself down.
Take your lumps.
Yeah,
take lumps.
You know, because when I first got here, I'm like, I'm about to take over.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be Big Ken, and I'm gonna be on the radio and everything.
Yeah.
You know, and I had to kind of, you know, humble myself and realize, you know, this ain't Chicago.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna have to adapt and do you, but adapt.
This is a good segment for me to tell the story that you said I should say on camera. Since we on camera, I'm gonna say it right now.
I think everybody has a Pete Sean story because I have one too.
This relates to my ego and then meeting Ken, how I met Ken, and I was dealing with some of the things that he was dealing with, being a DJ in a new city, but you've been DJing forever, so you ain't new. You just new to them.
Right.
I came out here with an ego because I'm from Detroit. Because I bleed DJing. I love DJing. I paid my dues. I took my lumps. I practice. I fucking love it, you know, and I'm prideful of it. It's an honor, everything. Like, I love DJing. I love music.
Right.
And so you want people to respect you because of the time you put in, because you're not some, you know, you're doing it for the right reasons. You know, you're giving, and I came out here with, I'm fucking everybody up.
Oh yeah.
That was my that was my mentality, and it wasn't like I dislike you. You're a bad person. It's just a mentality. And coming from Detroit, it was ultra competitive because there was so many DJs. So you had to stand up. You couldn't just be the next dude playing the same tunes. It was like, well, who are you? Right. And then you're in Detroit. The DJ booth was surrounded by DJs like that. Like,
really?
Like, what you
like
about to
bouncers?
do? Like, no, like DJs. Like
DJ bouncers.
What you got? Like it was
like DJ B-boys.
Like DJ B-boys. You know, like what you about to do? Who do you think you are? How did you get this gig? You almost had to justify how you got the gig because it was 10 other cats behind you.
Booth?
Why are you in this booth? So I came from that culture.
Yeah.
And so I'm guarded. I'm you know, I'm like almost like a complex you got. Like, no, Stevie, just
are you not entertained? You came in here like Maximus, didn't you? You came in here like a gladiator.
So when Arizona in my mind didn't embrace me or recognize me or love me or whatever I perceived I thought I should have had, I was pretty much like, fuck you too. Towards, it was just my vibe, my energy. And but I watch everything. I look at the scene. I go out to the party. I might not even. I watch and observe because I want to know who's talented, who's not, who's cool, who's an asshole. I just pay attention to everything. And I was paying attention to Arizona, and I said, "There's a weakness here in Arizona. There's no culture."
But wait. When did you get here?
I was here a long time before you guys were. I got here in 2003.
Oh, wow. So you got here a year before I did.
Yep, 2003, 2004.
Okay.
Ish, right around there.
Oh, so you were already here?
I got here December 2004, brother.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So by the time
I thought you came after.
No, sir.
I thought you were here after I got here.
No, sir.
Wow.
I had given up on like pushing myself in the Arizona DJ coach. I just feel like I don't have time. I'm doing my career thing. I just, you know, I'm not about to align myself and ass kiss and all that. I was like, I'm tired. I paid all my dues in Detroit. I'm not paying them all over again in a new town. I'm just, you know, I'm just trying to spend a little bit. I'm not trying to eat off of it. I'm just trying to DJ.
So the funny thing, when I came out here, I didn't even expect any of this to even be here. I didn't even know it was I wasn't even when I came out here, I wasn't even spinning as, you know, I mean, this is a hobby still, but it was like a hobby. I wasn't even trying to do weddings, birthday parties, none. I was just spinning at the crib.
But you got to tell them what your motto was.
My motto?
with the bullshit.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna come back. So
we got.
And then I'm gonna circle back around and
Okay.
tell you about the tune and how I discovered you.
So as I was saying earlier, I'm listening to what these cats are playing here, and again, thankful that there was a foundation of house music here, but this wasn't the house music that I know. You know, which everybody, every I guess region has their own type
Very
of house
regional.
music
Very
that they
regional.
play. And when I got out here, it was more EDM-ish.
Yes.
Okay, it wasn't even techno. It was
Progressive.
EDM at that point.
They call it progressive.
Yeah. So I'm listening to this stuff, and I'm like, I know what I can do. So I had a friend, and I'm all on Facebook like these. I don't know if I can. These
can
MFs here,
absolutely, you can use it.
these motherfuckers here, they playing that bullshit. I play that real shit.
Yeah.
You know. So, and I was putting it out there. So, one year we were, as a matter of fact, it was the very first House Fest. Me and Yoakley was out promoting. We went to Barsmith, right? So another thing I've never seen until I came here is a motherfucker doing poetry while the DJ is spinning. You know, so that was something new to me too.
Yeah.
But I noticed as Sean was spinning, and it seemed like when I walked in, the whole tempo changed, and Sean played a straight soulful set. So I mean, killed it.
Okay.
Killed it.
Okay.
Right? And the dude that's always at Barsmith that be on the mic, you know, rhyming or whatever, he kept saying, yeah, we're giving you that real shit, not that bullshit. So at that point, I'm like, damn, these motherfuckers, they heard me. Right? So now, before then, before that moment, maybe a month or so before, as I'm all on my real shit, bullshit high horse, Jamie 326, he's an international DJ now. He called me. He was like, Ken, I'm seeing what you're doing on social media. You need to stop. You need to stop it, bro, because you never know who's watching, who you're going to need to put you on.
Yeah.
This ain't Chicago. You in a new city, and you're trying to, put yourself on there. You know, so once he told me that, I stopped it. I stopped it.
Now, with I'm sorry to interrupt you. Without, just so we understand, Ken is about 6'3".
Yep.
I'm about 6'2".
Yeah.
So to have Ken walk into an establishment, he's hard to miss.
Right.
I am hard to miss.
Yep.
Right? So I'm sure that the second he walked in, 6'3", black
Walked
dude.
into Barsmith that night.
On the rooftop?
Yeah.
Listen, everybody knows who that cat is, especially if he's been on social media blasting people.
I mean, putting Arizona on blast, man. It's kind of, I'm like kind of embarrassed that I was that dude at that point. But
I took the torch from you because I definitely.
but listen. So after I humbled myself and, you know, toned it down and everything and showed that I could be just a regular dude, they put me on, right? So the very first night I played at Barsmith, I walked in there, fucking Yuri with the isolators. I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to get on these motherfuckers. So as I'm playing, Pete's there the whole time. He's at the end of the bar listening to my set, you know, and he's texting because I'm sure it's like, okay, how's he doing? Wasn't even worried about my set. My set was dope. So at the end, you know, so with the isolator, I'm isolating the hell out of every track.
That's the Chicago DJ shit, right?
Yeah, that's a Ron Hardy thing.
Yeah.
That Ron Hardy did. So after my set, me and Pete, we sitting at the end of the bar. I'm like, so what you think? Pete says, yeah, well, it was a lot of taking the bass out. So that was a lot for my taste, but your set was dope. But he didn't like how I was using that isolator because I was
Right.
Joe Clausel on that
Right.
isolator.
That's hilarious.
I was Joe Clausel that night. You couldn't tell me nothing. But so after that, I had a few more, they put me on a few more times. And there was a couple of times I went in there and bombed.
Okay.
Bombed. I went in there, blasted out of my mind and bombed.
Yeah.
That's so cool that you can be honest like that, because most DJs, we carry ourselves like we're just always all that.
No,
Yeah.
bro.
And
No, there's everybody has an off night.
Yeah.
Everybody.
yeah.
I don't care how good you are. I don't care if you're internationally known.
Yeah.
Unless you have a pre-recorded, which that's become a bit of a point of contention. There are times where it is not your night.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
it's-
bad where I'm on table 2. Table 2 was playing, and I'm bringing in table 1, and I stopped table 2. Boom.
Yeah.
Music at the party stops.
Yeah, bro.
Let me get to some of the stuff you're doing and have done. And Ken, I had you as a guest, man, because number one, you're always so active, and I noticed that I'm gonna just call you this. You're a promoter. You're not just a DJ, because every time you get quiet, I see some flyer pop up. You're promoting an event, whether it's at the park, whether it's at Cesar Chavez or your new spot you got now, but you're always coming back out with something. Like I see your name on the flyer, and you're putting it together. Because I see, for vendors at Big Can 25, email here for whatever. So I know you're a part of putting on events, and it seems to me that you have not been discouraged throughout your time in Arizona because you keep doing so. You got something coming up. So
Yeah.
what keeps you interested to keep yourself ingrained in the local culture, man?
So I've been discouraged. I've been like, I'm done with it. I can't do it no more. It ain't worth it. It's a waste of time. I'm tired. So
Yeah.
I've been there.
Same here, brother.
But it's the love of the music, man. And just like I like to cook. So I get joy from seeing people enjoy something that I've put together. Be it making a pizza, scrambling some eggs, making a mix.
Monkey shoulder.
Yeah. Turning you on to a different whiskey.
Yeah.
Or promoting a party.
He's a connoisseur, ladies and gentlemen.
So
that's something that I enjoy. So it's not about, it's personal in a sense where I want you all to say, damn, I had a goddamn good time with something. And I'm not the only one putting together this picnic. Tommy and Mike Davis are a part of it as well. Okay. But for me, I want people to say, I had a good ass time at an event that Ken was a part of.
And Ken, you're also I have to give you your flowers like Doug did. I'm very careful about who I associate myself with, who I connect with. You have to be about something because I don't have time to waste. So when I see a person that is of excellence or about quality on some level, I've admired you for the father that you are to your 3 boys.
Oh,
that's
man.
First and
a side
foremost.
show,
That
right?
dude.
First and
We
foremost.
haven't even gotten there.
Yeah.
Him and the first lady of his home. Yes.
His family values.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Your whole character makes its way into who you are, right? So it's not just like, oh, I heard you play some house music. We cool now because I play house music too. That ain't it, bro. It's a million people that just play house music or are DJs.
Right.
But you were embracing of me since you met me or heard of me. You didn't like, you just always like, hey, man, come on down and play.
Yeah.
So really, you were a promoter for me because you invited me down to play several events. You invited me to come on and play with Lifted or I came to the spot down on the corner the funny Facebook video you put up where I'm down on the floor and I
Sidebar. When you popped up like your ass was Usher.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sidebar.
Ken invites me.
Shout out to Alex Avila for
Alex
Yeah.
Avila. We got to get him in here too.
Alex and Kalu.
Yes,
So,
yes, Kailu. Yeah.
You invited me at Cesar Chavez, and I don't care if it's 3 people there or 10 people or 200, but your spirit of welcoming someone. You've never been territorial. As DJs, we can be territorial, but you always invited me in, and that stuck with me because I said, man, you always talk about the lack of people and the lack of culture, but what about the people who have shown support. You know, the Douglases, you know, the Ken Whites, who you're not from Chicago, but he was like, hey, Steve, come on down and play. You had me down at Saturday cartoons, I guess, DJ.
But here's the thing. If you can play, come on.
Yeah.
Right.
Come on.
That's always been an open invite.
Because, again, it's about the music. It ain't about, I ain't no click dude.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
can tell that, man.
I'm not a cliquish type cat. You know, if you could play and you cool with me and I'm cool with you, let's get it.
So
you know?
that was one of the things I think that the way I came in my house experience is 2 phases.
Okay.
For me, we talked about the Hot Mix 5 earlier.
Mm-hmm.
There was a dude in my neighborhood. So I'm a project kid. Ken's the South Side. So there's only 3 sides of Chicago. There's North, South, and West. Okay. East is the lake.
Okay.
All right. So my house experience was twofold. It was in 2 different kind of spheres, if you will. When I was younger, living in the projects on the West Side, there was a kid named Don who was like Radio Raheem.
Mm-hmm.
He always, and Don was probably, I want to say Don was probably 3 years older than me, something like that. Don always had his boombox with him, and he was always playing either the live BMX Hot Mix 5 or a tape of the Hot Mix 5. In the summertime, it was 24/7.
Wow.
If
cool.
Don was outside, he had his radio, and Don was not a very nice kid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He was oversized. He was like Baby Huey.
Okay.
Like he just wanted his boombox to leave him alone. That's how I didn't know that it was house that I was listening to, because at home my mother was a straight R&B pop fan. Mm-hmm. My father was a jazz dude. So I know Hubert Laws. I know CTI's catalog.
Mm-hmm.
I know Hubert Laws, Herbie Mann, all Henry Mancini. I know all them. I'm familiar with all those folks. And then Luther Vandross came out, and House Never Too Much was played every day for about 6 months before I went to school. My parents never listened to what was called house music at the time.
Right.
So for me, I got exposed to house music later on when I went to college. I went to Southern Illinois University in Carbondale, Illinois, downstate Illinois, 6 hours from Chicago.
I went to SIU too. First year.
So there's a cat named Daniel Spencer. He was one of the house DJs. He played house because a lot of SIU cats were from Chicago, and girls too. So like he knew at the big parties that we had on campus, he was playing the big parties. They had some other DJs from it was one cat named White Boy Hal. He was crushing it. But one of Hot Mix 5 DJs was a white dude.
Mm-hmm. Kenny Jason.
Yes.
Kenny Jason.
So for me, when
Scott
I got
Seals, he wasn't in the hot.
Yeah, Scott Seals
yeah,
too.
Scott Seals too. Yeah.
Scott Seals too. Yeah.
So when I came out here, the only thing I knew about the thing I remember most about house music was from my college experience, where it was disco based.
Yeah.
A lot of disco tunes. So I decided that I wanted to do something different than what I do for a living.
Mm-hmm.
Started DJing and stuff like that. Met Ken and DeAnthony, and one of the things that I noticed about them was in Chicago it's very cliquish. They were like, we don't want to do that. Because they had been on the other side of being in the clique. Yes, he knew all the chosen few, and there's no slight to those cats. I've talked to a lot of those dudes that when they've come down here, they're very gracious, very approachable dudes. Andre Hatchett, Alan King, Wayne Williams, all them cats I've had conversations with all those dudes. But it is very cliquish in Chicago. Ken and DeAnthony were like, we don't want that. If you, like he said, if you can play, come on down.
Right.
Let me jump in here. When I came to Arizona, I talk a lot. We are strong personalities on this podcast.
And these 3 personalities right here.
We're supposed to fall back, and it is Ken's show today.
Man, we chopping it up, man.
But I had a phone conversation with Ken a long time ago, and I don't know if he remembers it, but the gist of what I wanted to tell him was, I have this little pet peeve of, we tend to in society hero worship and worship legends, and maybe not worship, but we give them so much clout and
Yeah,
so
we
much
defer.
respect. We defer to the legends, right? We defer to the kings of the game, the chosen fews, the this and that. And Detroit has its own legends. And in Detroit, it's Derek, Juan, and Kevin, and those are the Immaculate Three. It's almost like they the Holy Trinity of the Bible.
Right.
Derek, hey, and Kevin Saunderson and Juan Atkins and the inventors of techno and da-da-da.
Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego.
You know, and then Jeff Mills and da-da, and I'm cool. And I love these guys.
Right.
Absolutely.
Talented guys, you know, made contributions, influenced us. I love the Hot Mix 5. Farley, I was listening to him like, damn, I got to hit my brakes like that. He hitting a brake. You know, Ron Hardy, I discovered Ron Hardy. Good God, no wonder they love Ron Hardy. This dude is the truth. You know, where did the bass go? I don't, what happened? I know what was happening. You know what I mean?
Right.
But as I got older and as I started listening to my peers, I started to note something. I said, you guys, a lot of my peers that don't have big names, that aren't famous, that aren't going overseas, y'all sound good too. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I heard Chicago DJs play that are not big name DJs. It's not Jamie 326 or Alan King or the da-da-da-da-da. You don't have a big resume, but hot than a motherfucker, right? And so as I start to, when I came to Arizona and the magic moment when I heard you playing on this, on the internet, and I'm thinking, who is this sorry ass motherfucker? He can get some too. And you play, Tone, I'm honest. No, I'm honest. I'm not gonna say Steve lie.
I believe it.
I didn't know you hadn't,
No, we had
hadn't
to-
heard
right,
you
right.
from Spit. You could have been the hottest things.
Damn, I was just gonna get it, huh?
Fish grease. But you
Right.
played the tune by Main Ingredient, Rolling Down the Mountainside. Now, the first person I heard play that tune was Craig Alexander on a disco mixtape.
Take it.
Let's do the math. You know Craig Alexander.
We were high school rivals.
You know Boo Williams. These cats I heard that put me onto that tune, right? When I'm doing my research, now you out here 30 years later playing this tune. I'm about to call you whack, but this tune is playing.
That shit saved me,
Oh my
huh?
God, brother, this motherfucker playing my tune. That's a secret weapon tune.
Yes, it is.
I dropped that in the Detroit set, and they don't know about that. They're not playing that. See, because that's not doots.
Right.
Right.
That's
That
all
ain't
So
cool.
cool.
a lot, and not to cut you off, but a lot of people don't know where did techno start, Steve. Oh well, you may have a different opinion since you're from Detroit,
Right.
but that sound started in Detroit.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
that
Yeah.
wasn't no
Right.
overseas shit. That wasn't
That's
no
Detroit.
no
That wasn't from Germany.
yeah,
Right.
exactly. That wasn't no European thing.
They
That
got
was
that from
the
us.
D.
That's the D. They got that from us. But the whole big name thing is when I started to recognize my own talent, the talent of a lot of my peers, the talents of guys who didn't have a big name. My boy over there, Tony Tone, right there,
Tone.
who was in the hip hop world
Tone the
in a big
man.
way.
Okay.
I was listening, and I'm an honest ear. Like, you got an ear. A tune is hot. It's just a hot tune. You don't care who made it. What is it, Doug? I don't know it. What you say it was? It was the Earth, Wind, and Fire. What,
Exactly.
I'm
just trying to figure out
what's
who
the
did
tune.
it.
Who? What's the tune? I want it.
That's right.
I listen to DJs like that, and I listen to people who are producers like that, whatever it is. And I started saying, I couldn't tell the difference between when I heard a Louis Vega mix and when I heard another guy over here who his name wasn't Louis Vega,
Right.
right?
Right.
And I said, okay, he's got the name and the popularity and the brand, and he's earned that. And I don't
But
begrudge
it's
him
not
for
just
earning-
that. With that dude, he's produced. He's a
Right.
fucking Grammy
Award
winner several times.
Got it.
You know,
But
so
from a DJ standpoint, never mind the production. I
Right.
could take a million examples. I'm saying when I hear the music that we do collectively,
oh yeah,
I don't feel like I need to book so and so because unless we book that person, we won't have that magic.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if I hear you are a selector, Ken. I call you a selector. You have a way of listening to music and saying, that's good to present, right? And I love your selections. I like Doug for different reasons I like his diversity in between genres. That I've given him his flowers on that.
Yeah.
I didn't know Doug did this mid-tempo thing and fucked me up. I'm in the gym because I got something for him to like. Ooh, but that motherfucker play. Ooh, shit. But I love recognizing people that are good, people that are I love it. I love getting schooled. I'm like, school me.
too.
I don't like being the hottest motherfucking room, the smartest motherfucker in the room. Like somebody drop some shit on me. Somebody educate me.
Show me something different that I ain't got.
On some level. It can be. It don't have to be scratching. It don't have to be. It could be anything. I love to learn. But when I started hearing people like yourself, people like D'Anthony, me and D'Anthony got into it, but that motherfucker can spin.
Oh yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
So
He can spin. I'm just saying. The talent is spread amongst our culture, amongst our DJ scene. It's not. It's
not required to be a big name
man.
to be to be dope.
And what I don't like, so we can be at a venue, okay? Steve, you're playing the early slot. You play Peaches and Prunes.
Mm-hmm.
Same crowd, don't nobody dance, okay? Louis Vega come play Peaches and Prunes. The goddamn everybody lose their mind. Motherfuckers crying and shit. You know. You know, and I don't get that. I don't like that. And I see it all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so I mean, in society it's gonna be cliques. Okay. Yeah. But I think people that are true to music and listen to music and are about, I'm going out here for the music. I ain't going out here because Doug playing. I know Doug gonna play some tunes, but if Steve playing the exact same shit, Steve gonna get the same amount of respect from me.
Right.
You know the second tune you fucked me up with? I gotta tell you about this. I just thought about it. I have certain tunes that you love so much you don't even want other people to play it. You want to feel like you got the only copy of the tune, and you're the only one supposed to be playing that tune. Wow. So here's the second tune.
I understand that too.
Yes, I do.
I was so mad when Ken put this in the set because when somebody asks me to play, I'll put some signature Steve Crawford records and some shit that I just really like.
Definitely.
Right? So Doug, this son of a bitch is playing Lisa Stansfield, People Hold On, the New Jersey Jazz Mix, and I'm fucking mad as
you thought you was the only one that had that?
Oh my God. Because in Detroit, they weren't really running that. My sister at the time when that came out, she was going to school in D.C. at Howard. Mm-hmm. I went to visit her at Howard, and I heard that tune on the East Coast, and I was like, oh my God. I've been playing it forever like it's brand new.
That's a floor packer.
A floor packer.
Dude.
Guaranteed.
Listen.
You play the tune, I'm fucking angry. I'm like, you motherfucker.
Wait, what was this?
I can't remember if it was a stream, a party, but I was like, I couldn't get mad. I was like, this motherfucker. Of course, he's from Chicago.
Right.
Because Chicago DJs, they got that musical sense.
But you got to understand. Lisa Stansfield, even before it was a house mix, Lisa Stansfield was getting much love.
Was the shit.
But a DJ
love in Chicago.
A DJ got a sense, but to have a sense to pull it out, because we all got certain great tunes, but to pull it out and run it is another thing.
Oh yeah, I don't give a fuck. I'm running it.
Running this tune.
I don't give a fuck what kind of party it is. What the vibe?
Running this shit. So I'm like, it made me mad, but made me smile. It made me mad. Cause I'm like, ain't this a bitch? I ain't the only one. Then it made me smile because I ain't the only one. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's you don't know that story, but that's a personal story. We have backstories about people they don't even know about. You don't even know about what you did to me playing one of my favorite all-time house mixes.
You know what? I'm sitting here tripping, man, because I've never just gotten the accolades that I'm getting right now, not even realizing, damn, okay. I mean, everybody inspires each other. Yeah. You've inspired me. And I'm really fucking inspired today.
Yes.
After coming to your home. Doug, you've inspired this dude right here.
Yeah.
No, man.
I could hey man, you got this. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Here you go.
I don't even like Doug because Doug, he's a motherfucker.
I just play tunes, man.
You would just have to exit yourself from the conversation when you realize how far he's going with the knowledge. Yeah. He starts breaking down. When we was on the last episode,
oh God,
and boy, you and Tone started going in. It's like, well, what you don't know is that, okay, well, you like that record, Steve? Well, the artist that made it, she was on the Gong Show.
Oh,
Do you remember that?
Okay. All right.
That
So
damn Gong Show, bruh.
right. So, okay. So this is we're gonna rehash this because Ken is here.
Tell it.
All right. So it's what is the name of that tune? It's an Earth, Wind and Fire. Well, Earth, Wind and
Can't
Fire.
Hide Love.
Okay, so Earth, Wind and Fire made the tune popular. However, Earth, Wind and Fire's version is a cover from the creative source. They did it first.
You about to bow, Ken?
He the only motherfucker that would know this.
This motherfucker
Okay.
right here.
Yeah.
Okay, so they did it first, right? Creative source does it first. I'm in what's the record store on it's on Roosevelt. What's our boy's name?
Here or in Chicago?
It's here.
On Grand?
On
Coco's
Grand
Coco
Avenue,
store?
Grand Avenue Records. That's the name of it.
Yep.
So I walked in there because one of our other colleagues, who we should probably, if we can, we get on the show. We get De La on the show.
Yeah.
De La schools me.
I had to
every
get
time.
Ken first, man.
No, I understand.
That's a pecking order, and Ken was my guy.
No, I understand.
De La coming after.
I understand. But I was.
And I love you, De La.
I was going. Yes,
we love you, De La.
we love De La. Really, we love De La.
Yeah,
So I was waiting on her because she was supposed to be playing. So I go there early, and I'm looking at the 45s that Coco has on the shelves, and I see Can't Hide Love, and I see the name of the person, and I'm like, this cannot be who I think it is singing this song. And I'm like, it's going to be trash.
Right.
Because I only know one person in my lifetime with this name.
Yep.
So I pull it up on YouTube immediately, and it's fucking dope. That version of that song is better than the
By
Earth, Wind
who?
and Fire. I'm gonna get to that. That's
Better
the thing. That's
than
the thing.
Earth, Wind and Fire. You ain't
to
never heard
to
nobody say that. Watch this shit.
Better. It's better than the Earth, Wind and
Yes.
Fire version.
Yes.
Okay.
And maybe part of it is because it's by a white artist,
Okay.
which the
deep,
race
man.
shouldn't matter. I
No.
get it.
It's
No.
deep. It's deep, man.
But the thing is, the soulfulness with which she did it was bananas. So I pull it up. Shortly after I pull it up, De La comes in with her husband Don, who's also a great DJ in his own right. He comes in, and I said, I bet you don't know who this is. So he pulls it up on his phone on YouTube. He's like, oh, I got to get that. He said, because that's a surprise tune. You put that on.
That's a weapon.
And exactly. And nobody knows. It's J.P. Morgan.
Oh, wow.
You know who J.P.
I
Morgan
know
is?
exactly.
From the Gong Show,
From
right?
the Gong Show, yes.
I had no idea that she was a singer. I just knew it from the Gong Show.
And she's singing Can't Hide Love?
Bruh.
If I back in the day I did a couple of DJ battles, that would be a surprise weapon in a DJ spinoff. You
Bruh.
would play this tune and just drop the mic.
Tone, you know about that?
We told him about it.
It's
Okay.
amazing.
It's just burning.
It's amazing.
Burning.
It's
Burning.
amazing.
So
It's amazing.
is it her vocals or is it the production?
It's part of it
I
is the
mean,
arrangement, because she takes the, so creative source is faster than the Earth, Wind and Fire. Earth, Wind and Fire slowed it down and made it sensual.
Okay.
J.P. Morgan, because and part of it is,
So it's a faster tempo?
no, she takes the Earth, Wind and Fire route, but it's a woman singing those words.
Okay. Which changes the whole dynamic.
It changes, but
gonna love
but remember,
Now I gotta go.
But wait, no, don't worry. You're gonna find out. The other thing is, it's a white woman singing it with soul, right? She kills it. The performance is dope.
The surprise for me is that I know something's gonna be whack if you coming after Earth, Wind, and Fire. Right? You can't
Right.
improve on that. That's
Right.
gonna
I
be
wouldn't
a
even
whack.
looked at it. I'd have been like, J.P. Morgan, get the fuck out of here. It has to be
exactly.
But that was the thing. That was the thing. I was like, I got to hear her because I'm sure it's gonna be terrible.
Doug brought it over here on vinyl. You know,
Yeah, I
I'm a
bought the
vinyl
45.
head.
I had to
So
buy
you
the
all right?
45.
You bought it.
So
did you listen to it or you pulled it up and you
I pulled
heard
it up first
before you bought it
and
then
bought
you
it.
was-
But before I bought it, I told Don. I said, "Hey man, I said, do you know who that is? Because he didn't remember who J.P. Morgan was.
Right.
Okay, so the story that I told last time was this: J.P. Morgan was a judge, a regular judge
on the Gong Show.
on the Gong Show.
Right.
She got banned from the show permanently because one time Mean Gene, the dancing machine, came out. You know, that dude.
Right.
She decides and you can watch it on YouTube. She decides to open her shirt and bare breast. She's sitting on the side of the stage. Breasts out.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Breasts out.
I think I remember.
But I had, so what I did was, of course, me being the nerd that I am, I went and dug around. J.P. Morgan had a singing.
She has a catalog?
Dude, she has a singing career.
Because I would have thought that had to be satire.
The beauty of music is the discovery at any point in time of shit you just did not know.
Yeah.
You know, so people ask me, like, I get accused of playing old stuff too much, right? Steve in Detroit he keep playing disco, he playing that song. I'm like, y'all don't understand. I just got hip on some of this shit.
Right.
I just
it's new to me.
It's new to me.
You know what I love?
That's why I play classics.
Rediscovering
music.
I like going through my drives and be like, God damn, I forgot all about that.
Absolutely.
I'm going to run it and then forget about the shit again.
Because now let me tell you, one of his staples, and the thing is, what's funny is I can kind of sense when it's coming. I can't, not that he's predictable at all. That house remix of, I don't know who sings it, Portuguese Say Love.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Ken.
Let me tell you how I made this tune, and I thought it was so hot, and it did nothing. And I'm in my mind, I'm like, fuck y'all. Y'all don't know how hot that shit is. I knew it was hot when Ken called me and said, can you send me that tune you did, Your Touch? I was like...
That's still, to this day, one of my favorites.
I was like...
So...
This motherfucker is... I didn't say, yo, man, here go my tune. I didn't push it to him. He discovered it on his own and be running this shit. And because you were a selector... That was validation. Like, I know this tune is hot. Because Ken White wouldn't be just, well, with me and Steve cool, I'm just going to run it. Get the fuck out of here. If it was whack, you're not playing it.
Yeah.
I know you. So that meant something to me.
When he played at Daytime Decibels, he walked in the door, so he walked in the DJ booth, and I just so happened, it wasn't planned or nothing. Just so happened, when he came in the deep, I'm blending that motherfucker in. Did it, and I'm like... That's some shit. You come in and I'm playing your goddamn song.
Yeah.
But that's one of honestly, other than this time, because that's gonna always be my all-time favorite for other reasons.
We're gonna tell that story on the next one.
But Your Touch, that's a motherfucking banger.
Ken, we don't have much time left, but can you tell the people what you're doing nowadays and where we can find you or where we can look out for you? Can you tell the audience that?
So, I mean, right now I'm just, working and being a dad, but October 7th, the Fallout, an outdoor autumn event out at East Lake Park, 10 to 6. The DJs on the list for this one, Mike Davis, Tommy Bolin, DJ B,
Usual Suspects,
DJ, and that's a whole nother story because
man, it's all good.
DJ B,
say playing,
Mike
that's
Davis.
what the fuck playing.
But here's the thing, I didn't. So it's to the point now where certain things I'm hands off.
Sure,
I'm hands off. I'm like, I want these two cats to play. Y'all do the rest.
Gotcha.
So.
Just so long as Big Ken is there.
I mean, so and next year, because we talked about this, and I've kind of gotten a rep of being, I don't know, bad guy, motherfucking controlling, but I want shit to be the way I want it to be.
I'm the same way, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a lot of people can't deal with a personality like that.
Right.
But anyway, I want to kind of get away from the same circle of people and make it more diverse. Because there's a lot of cold DJs, the SA DJs, white boy DJs, not just the same that can play.
Right.
That can play.
Yes.
And the only way what we're trying to do is going to grow is we're going to have to expand the type of people that play. You know what I'm saying? My guys are always going to be welcome to do whatever. You know what I'm saying? But this thing right here, we're trying to... And I think the people that I'm with don't really understand that it's a brand that we're trying to build and create, and it's a way to go about it, and it's not all about, oh, you my boy. There's a time for that, but there's a time also to be about business and try to, put your vision out there and make it grow. If that makes sense. So that's what I'm trying to do. But anyway, the Fallout, October 7th, we'll be out there doing it.
So is this
as usual?
It's going to be an annual
Oh
thing?
yeah, so we do an annual. So
You do it. Usually try to catch 2 events.
we
in the
tried
year.
to, yeah. So it used to be we would do one in May, but now it's too hot to do
It's
an
too
event
hot.
in May.
Yeah.
It's
March
too
is
hot to
probably
do it.
better.
Yeah. So,
Slightly.
So we
Out
decided
here.
to just do October. So just one event a year.
Arizona, we want to thank Ken for coming on the show today. It was
Yes, sir.
incredible. Look out for him.
Yeah.
Not production-wise, production
I don't know which camera I should be
party-wise.
looking at. I guess this one right here.
Party-wise,
I think it's that one.
promoting
Yeah.
events, Facebook page. He's on Facebook. I don't think he's on Instagram.
I am on Instagram.
Are you on Instagram?
So my kids told me, Dad, you got to get on Instagram. You got to get on TikTok.
I was gonna. You on TikTok,
I'm on TikTok.
dude? So like,
My paralegal told me you could get on TikTok, boss.
The word TikTok coming out of my mouth is
I
just
know,
like amazing.
I'm gonna have
you
to
know?
do the same thing.
Yeah,
It's necessary.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
and that's how you're gonna reach that younger crowd. You're not gonna
Right.
reach that younger crowd on Facebook. It's
Right.
gonna be the same.
Yep.
You know. So, but what I want to say is, you guys, thank you for reaching out and having me on.
Yep.
I appreciate it,
Wow,
man.
man, this has been a blast.
This is fun.
All right.
And,
Big Ken, y'all. All right.
you probably ain't gonna never get me out this garage, bro.